remove the Tin Man's heart, steal the Scarecrow's brain, take the lion's courage, and then Dorothy must die. Hey everyone, my name's Miranda, and in case you haven't been able to guess by now, today I will be reviewing Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Paige. Dun dun dun! This book, I've literally been looking forward to reading it for over a year now, and I am so happy to report that it is even better than my wildest expectations. I flew through it in like 3 days. I got it on Sunday and I think I finished it by like Tuesday. It's just so good. I love the main character, Amy. She's awesome. She has bubblegum pink hair, which is just fabulous to me. And if you haven't heard of the story, basically Amy is in Kansas and she's kind of a loner. She doesn't have a lot of friends. Her mom's a deadbeat and she lives in a trailer. Then one day this tornado comes and sweeps her up, knocks her out, and she wakes up in Oz. But it is not the Oz that you and I have grown up with, or Amy, because it is creepy and everything's just wrong with it now. Glinda is bad. Dorothy has gone cuckoo bananas because she got back to Oz and is now using magic, and the magic has made her gone like nuts and psycho, and she's basically like a tyrannical dictator. I like to call her a douche slut because she dresses slutty, but she acts like a douchebag. So you see, you just put them together and you get that nice little word. And under Dorothy's rule, Oz has basically just become this pit full of crappiness. All the magic is being drained because Dorothy wants it all to herself. People are arrested for the stupidest things, like sassiness can get you executed. To go for an attitude adjustment means that you need to go to the Scarecrow and he reworks your brain and all that. And all of Dorothy's friends from Wizard of Oz are also now maniacal and just crazy and terrifying versions of themselves. The Tin Woodsman, he is now the leader of her army and is also in love with Dorothy. And the Scarecrow, like I said before, he's like the main scientist, experiments on people's brains and makes them all kind of crazy, creepy stuff. And then the lion has become so terrifying and ferocious that he actually, instead of being afraid of everything, he feeds on people's fear and like just like devours them whole. Like there are some gruesome moments with the lion in this book where I'm just like, ugh! I really like the message of seeing how all of them have been corrupted, in that like the thing that you think you want, it can just make you want more and more and more. Like Dorothy thought she wanted magic and now she wants more and more magic. She can never be satisfied. The Scarecrow wanted brains and now he feels like he can never be smart enough. He needs to be the smartest man in the world, and that's what his experiments are coming from. And then the Tin Woodsman, he wanted a heart and now he can't even really love anyone except Dorothy, who will never ever reciprocate his love because she's batshit crazy. They've just become these mangled, twisted characters. Amy is kind of thrown into this thing and Dorothy hates her immediately because she's like, oh crap, I thought that I was special being from Kansas and like the other world and coming here, and that gives me the right to rule, but now there's another girl who's exactly like me and this is making it seem like I'm just a coincidence. This isn't fate that I came here. So she tries to lock Amy up and execute her like immediately, and nothing says welcome to Oz like a good old execution. I must have been asleep when that part came on in Wizard of Oz. But Amy is thankfully rescued by a group of, let me get this right, Revolutionary Order of the Wicked, which is basically these group of witches that came together and they're trying to fight Dorothy. But the whole thing that they tell us is that Amy cannot trust anyone. Everyone kind of has their own ulterior motives and ulterior purposes, and they all think that she is the one that is supposed to kill Dorothy and this is like her destiny, and she's just kind of like, I don't know if I feel comfortable killing someone, and I really like that. The whole thing that's really cool is this revolution is actually led by the Wicked Witches, who were the bad people in Dorothy's tale that we're all familiar with. But the whole thing is, and we're told this like early on, is that nothing is how it should be in Oz. Up is down, wrong is right, good is wicked, and wicked is good, which I thought was a really powerful message. I really liked Amy's character, which made me so happy. I feel like she was just so strong. She's everything I want in a literary character, where she's kind of, yes, she's strong, but she's not one of those like impenetrable bitch faces where she just doesn't like anyone. She was kind of just thrown into Oz, and I love how quickly she accepted she was in Oz. She's like, Yellow Brick Road, handsome people, munchkins, yep, I gotta be in Oz. So I kind of like how she just took to that so easily. Amy has a sidekick named Star, who is a pet rat. And as much as I want to like Star, I just can't bring myself to trust rats ever since what happened with Scabbers and Harry Potter. So I want to like Star, and she was kind of growing on me, but at the same time, I do not trust that rat as far as I can throw it. And then the one thing that I was really worried about was there seemed to be inklings of a love triangle in this book. If you know me at all, you know that I hate love triangles. I cannot begin to describe my deep hatred for love triangles. So I was so worried that there was going to be a love triangle in this book between Amy, Knox, and this other character, Pete. But let me just tell you that when you're reading this, if you're worried about that, this has one of the coolest kind of twists to a love triangle that I've ever read, and that includes Clockwork Princess, because I know people think that is like the greatest love triangle ever. This one, when I read it, I literally like dropped the book. I was like, no. It was just so crazy. I did not see it coming at all, and now I really can't wait to read the next one. I can't believe I have to wait a year for it. Like, I'm going crazy because it's so original, so unique. I recommend it to everyone out there who hasn't read it, because it was just, I can't stop talking about how fantastic it was. And I don't really want to give anything away for the plot to spoil y'all, so if you haven't read the book, now is your chance. Go read it, and then you can come back and watch the rest of this video, and trust me, you will not regret reading this book. It is absolutely phenomenal. Alright, I will see you later, non-spoilers. Alright, so I said most of how I felt in the non-spoiler section, but there are just a couple like scenes that I want to point on in this spoiler section. First off, the love triangle, like I said, I was so concerned there was going to be a love triangle between Pete, Knox, and Amy, and that was just kind of in the back of my mind the entire time, and kind of just like, oh, this book is so good, but the love triangle is coming, it's going to ruin it. And it was always really weird, I felt, because it was like we would get like Pete for 50 pages, and then we wouldn't get anything, and it would be all Knox, and then we'd get all Pete again and no Knox, and I was like, what, this is really like written weird, it's messing with my head because it's like a non-love triangle love triangle, and then the end we find out that Pete is Ozma, and I was like, oh, that is literally when I just dropped the book, and I was like, this needs to go on, and I saw it only had 2 pages left, and I was like, no, and then like I just put it down when I finished it, and I like started running around the room because I just needed to get my energy out. I was so excited and so pumped because that was just, I did not see that coming at all, but going back, it makes sense because I remember when we first met Pete, the way she described him was having emerald eyes and really pale skin. And then when we saw that Ozma hallucination, whatever you want to call it, holograph thing, she said that it had really emerald green eyes and pale skin. And I was like, that sounds like Pete. Is this going to be Pete's sister? And then they were like, it's Ozma, and I kind of just chucked it out of my head after because I was like, oops. So I really love that, and I was like, yes, it can't be a love triangle now. And then as my mom so eloquently pointed out in the I was babbling about it to her, she said, no, it can still be a love triangle. And I was like, she wouldn't do that to me. She would not do that to me, because Knox and Amy, oh my gosh, they're so cute. I felt like in the beginning it felt kind of forced, and I was like, oh, obviously he's going to hate her, and then he's going to come to love her, and their kiss was like weird because it was just kind of like he grew to like her and then was like, I need to kiss you, this needs to happen now. And I was like, that was a little rushed, but I ended up really liking the relationship, and I do like Knox. I feel like he's one of those characters that, like, you need a character like that when your land is just so magical and fantastical. Just be like, what the F, guys? Why are we doing this? Someone who just kind of brings it down in reality, and Amy can play that too, but I feel like because she's so new, she can get overwhelmed by what's going on. And let me tell you, this book needs to be a movie or a TV show or something, because the costumes and the way it's described is just so pretty. I loved all of Dorothy's costumes, how she kind of dresses like with the low cleavage and the high slit and everything, but she always has this blue and white checkered kind of outfit. And I think my favorite one was when they described it as leather. I was like, okay, that's awesome. And then she has these like 6-inch high ruby red hooker heels that I'm going out here now. This probably isn't really that crazy of a theory because it was basically hinted at straightforward. But obviously Dorothy's magic and her craziness comes from her shoes, because when Amy was looking at them, she kind of got transfixed by them and was all like, what's going on? And I feel like there might be some foreshadowing between that, with that happening, and then Knox being like, you need to make sure you make the right choices because choices are what made Dorothy evil. And I feel like that could come back to bite Amy in the butt if she makes the wrong choices. And the whole thing was, Amy is a very moral character. We saw how she is not really comfortable with sacrificing the one to save the 100. So she always tries to do the right thing, and I really like that, but I feel like that is going to come back again to kind of haunt her, because it already kind of is, where she saved Ollie's sister at the expense of Jella, who then got taken and kind of just devoured and turned into this unanimated lifeless corpse, which was really creepy. And the ball scene was really cool. The description of it was really pretty, with all the emeralds and the rubies, and I would love to see that on the screen. And then the other really cool thing though was there were a lot of great lines in here. Like, I was on Goodreads looking for some quotes, but I couldn't really find anything. My favorite one is this. Let me find it. Oh, here we go. Okay. Dorothy had awesome lines, but this is my favorite line. Kill her, Dorothy screamed so loudly I thought my eardrums would shatter. Kill the bitch. There must be some mistake, I said as I rushed towards her, my shoulder lowered. You're the bitch. I'm the witch. I just love that line. Oh my gosh. Amy had such funny like lines, and her outlook on everything was really cool. Like I said, how she just kind of easily accepted that this was really, she's like, the old brick road, flying monkeys, okay, we're going with this. And the flying monkeys are really cool, because in The Wizard of Oz, we're led to believe that the flying monkeys are evil and they work for the Wicked Witch, but it turns out that the flying monkeys, their wings, since they have so much magic, they can be easily controlled, and it's not that they exactly want to do these evil things, but they can be controlled so easily. So there's like a rebellion of just wingless monkeys called the Wingless Ones, which cut their wings off so they can't be controlled by anyone, and now they're like starting a revolution, and the wizard is like their leader, because the wizard now has real powers, and Dorothy, it's so crazy. There's so many webs and so many tangles, and that's why I just can't wait to see where the series goes. I hope we get more of Knox and Amy in the next book. I hope we get more of Dorothy's kind of backstory and how she became so evil. The question I've always had is how long has she been here for? Because, I mean, I don't know exactly when Wizard of Oz was written, but it was definitely like 1800s, right? So it's like she should be like 200 years old, but like she still looks like an 18-year-old 20-something. So I'm hoping they explain that a little, like how, if the magic keeps her immortal, or if it's just like she just makes herself look young and she's really like a decrepit old lady underneath it. Amy now has this mission. She almost got away with killing Dorothy, but she couldn't come to do it at the last second, and then we find out from the wizard at the end that it would have been pointless anyway, because she has an order that she must do things. She has to steal the Tin Man's heart, which she ended up doing at the end of the book, which I don't know if she actually got away with it, but she definitely got it out. She killed the Tin Man, so we don't have to worry about him anymore, even though I'm sure the Scarecrow will find a way to bring him back. And then she has to steal the Scarecrow's brain, which, ooh, that's gonna be fun. That's, ugh, gross. I can't even think about it. And then she has to take the lion's courage, and then, and only then, can Dorothy die, because she basically has these protections set around her that she doesn't even know about. So all these things have to happen in, like, a sequence of events before Dorothy can die, and the land can be restored to Ozma, and all of the people of Oz can be free and cheer and yay! And I'm just really excited to read the next book. I can't wait to see what happens now that we know Pete is Ozma, and Knox, I don't know if he thinks Amy is dead, or don't know where Dorothy is, because she's just disappeared into thin air, and they're all like, you killed Dorothy, and Amy's like, no, she poofed. I don't know where she is. I hope maybe the book will get moved up a little so we don't have to wait a year for the next one. I know there's some novellas in between, so I'm going to go check out the first novella, and then the second one comes out in like November, I believe. So I'm just really excited. This was exactly the kind of book I was looking for. It's different, it's unique, it has all the elements I love, and it's probably the first book I've read in a while that actually made me drop the book in like shock and then run around the house screaming. I need more people to read it so I can fangirl with it. So if you read it, tell me what you thought. Leave all your comments and reactions down below. Did you love Amy as much as I did? Did you love the book as much as I did? This is definitely one of my favorites. It is going on a good place in my shelf so I can look at it and admire it always. I would definitely give it 5 stars. So as Dorothy said, there is no place like home, and I'm going to click my heels and disappear, and thank you all for watching. I'm Miranda. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and if you've read Dorothy Must Die, leave all your reactions and your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Bye!